Hey guys, welcome back to the second episode of the Jack Films podcast. I am joined once again by my dad. How you going, Dad?
I'm good. How are you going, Jack?
Yeah, good. We have quite a lot of things to discuss. A lot of trailers, news. We are going to keep the news bits quite short today because last time those news bits we went for way too long.
Possibly.
So we're going to try and keep our quick thoughts on them and then move on to the next thing because we want to try and keep this one at least to an hour, maybe a little shorter. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to get into it. We'll get into the reviews at the end like we do with the last episode. So I'm excited to get into those. So first we're going to talk about the trailers. First up is Secret Invasion. So we forgot how to do this already.
I'll use my finger.
I gave you one job.
Yeah, and I didn't get that right.
No. I even said keywords.
Yeah, yep.
But, no, so I seen this trailer before, but we watched it because Dad never seen it, and I actually like the trailer. I'm excited to see. This one looks way more different than all the other Disney Plus shows, and I'm pretty excited to see what this is going to end up being that's going to push the multiverse saga in the direction that they want to do. So, Dad, what are your thoughts on the Secret Invasion trailer?
I think it's going to be good. I don't mind a bit of Nick Fury. I think Samuel L. Jackson's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it'll be... the trailer never really gives you what the plot or the storyline is, but yeah, no, I think it'll be good. How many episodes are there?
Normally it's around 8 or 9 episodes for Disney Plus series.
Yeah, right, okay.
I think the only exception is Daredevil because that's 18 episodes.
All right. So when's that?
That's coming out next year.
Yeah, right, okay.
Because they're currently shooting that. But no, I've heard that apparently they're bringing back a lot of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast back.
Yeah, right, okay.
Into this?
Or into this Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
I saw that, is it Brody or whatever his name is?
Rhodey's in there.
Yep.
And obviously Cobby Smulders is in there for like one shot. But I think there's going to be a few people in there from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But apparently that show is not connected, much like the Daredevil shows and stuff.
Yeah, right, okay.
So I think they're going to be more like variants of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the multiverse saga stuff is going to come into it.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see how it kind of goes into a trial that we'll talk about soon. But the next trial is Across the Spider-Verse. I was already really excited. What?
Don't touch the mic.
Oh, okay. What the hell? But no, the next chart is, of course, Across the Spider-Verse. I've been...
We're going to get there. It's been a while.
Yes! This is what I want to do, like weekly, not monthly.
I was up at 4:30 this morning, right? So...
I wanted to do this weekly, not monthly. So we actually get in a routine of this.
Yeah, no, next time will be better, I promise.
But no, so I've been very excited for Across the Spider-Verse. Obviously, we got both the international cut of the trailer and the original cut of the trailer. So, of course, the original trailer, I liked Into the Spider-Verse. I think that it's good that the first trailer, the main trailer that we got about shows more Miles and how he's doing at school, and then him eventually going into the Spider-Verse. But then the international trailer, we actually get to see the clips of, yeah, sure, it's from the other movies, but we actually get to hear voiceover from Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, which might appear in it. We're not too sure. So, Dad, what are your thoughts on the Cross the Spy-Verse trailer?
I think it. Oh, look, as I said before, I'm not really into animation. I don't know. You really like these. I don't know. I'll wait. I won't go to the picture theatre and see it. I'll wait till
for Ninja Turtles.
Well, I go there, yeah, because that actually looks quite fun. But I don't know if I'd do this one. I might just wait till it comes out on Disney Plus or Netflix or whatever it comes out on.
Yeah, it might be a while for it to do Disney Plus because they only just recently put Far From Home on Disney Plus.
Yeah, right.
Because that came out in 2019.
So, but is that because they've just had to work through all of the rights of Sony and...
Yeah, but I don't... But, like, that's the same with Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home's not on Disney Plus yet.
Yeah, right. But where they've all been on Netflix, though. Well, most of them have, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely the Toby's ones have and the Amazing ones have. I think they've currently... Like, they may have had Homecoming on once and then swapped it for Far From Home, but they've never really had them all on the one platform.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yep. But I think Sony wants all their Marvel stuff on Disney Plus and that sort of stuff, so I think that's just one of the things that we would have to deal with until they put it on there.
Yeah, right.
But no, the potential for this movie, the fact that it's going to go even crazier than the first one, gets me excited to see this one.
Yeah.
And the fact that we might even get Toby, Andrew, and Tom Holland in...
So they're doing the actual voices for it, are they?
Well, we're not too sure. We've kind of gotten... like, in that trailer, there's the bit where Miguel O'Hara goes like, don't mention Doctor Strange, the weird on Earth 9999.9.
Yeah, what was that about?
Referencing No Way Home.
Yeah, right, okay.
The fact that... I don't know if it's... Like, he's definitely referencing No Way Home, but I don't know if it's the scene of him pulling Toby, Andrew, and the villains in, or him sending them home and wiping Tom Holland's memory.
Yeah, okay.
It's either one or those two scenes. And then the fact that there's been kind of hints of, like, Tom Holland actually, like, appearing in animation form and giving us more answers about what we got in No Way Home.
Yeah.
With, like, the... Whether if... God, I don't know. Did the spell go across the multiverse of wiping everyone's memory? Like, did it erase Toby and Andrew's, Peter Parker's memory? Did it just erase Tom's memory?
That's right, we don't know that, do we?
Exactly. So it's like, did those Spider-Man's memories get wiped too, or was it just Tom's?
Yeah.
Because I always thought that it was just Doctor Strange doesn't have the capability to make his spell reach across the multiverse.
Yeah.
But we don't know if that's part of it or not. So the fact that we might even just get a scene of Tom Holland talking to Miles and just giving us more of those answers that we had questioning in No Way Home.
Yeah.
Which will be really exciting to do and will basically set up the future of not just the Sonyverse, but also what they'll do in Spider-Man 4, and even if they bring in Tom Holland for a bit in Daredevil Born Again, because Spider-Man and Daredevil do fight alongside each other in the comics.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff they can do with Tom Holland Spider-Man now moving forward.
Yeah, right, okay.
So, but yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. I don't know if I'm excited because this is another potential to see Toby, Andrew, and Tom, or it's because I actually want to see the better Into the Spider-Verse, because I do like Spider-Verse, but I don't hold it in high regard as like best Spider-Man comic book movies as everyone else does.
Yeah, right, okay.
Because I think that's just a bit of a fatigue that everyone has when something new, when something great comes out. they hold to that high standard.
Yeah.
But like No Way Home, you can't get because there was so much hype going into it anyway.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
Spider-Verse, there wasn't really any hype. It was just like, well, what is Sony doing in a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah. So, but this is Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, so how many parts are there going to be to this?
Well, there was going to be a Part 1 and a Part 2, but now it's just Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, right, okay.
So now it's, I think the third one's now called Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
So, again, we're not too sure if we get like the Spider-Mans we know in this movie or in the next one.
Yeah.
Because in this one, like we pointed out in the first podcast episode, we saw the Spectacular Spider-Man on that poster. We saw PS4 Spider-Man on that poster.
Yeah.
So, like, we already have Spider-Mans that we know, but it's like, when are we actually going to get Toby, Andrew, and Tom? Because this image is fan-made.
Oh, okay, so it's not about... Yeah, so it's not the...
Yeah, because this
movie
thing's not official. I just grabbed it because I thought it was a cool image.
Yeah, right, okay.
But, yeah, no, I'm excited to see Across the Spider-Verse. I'll definitely be reviewing it. I'm excited for when it comes out. So, the next one is Boy Beetle. Now, I actually really like the trailer. I am going to turn to someone who get his thoughts on it. But no, I really like the trailer. I think that the fact that they're doing something that, and the fact that even James Gunn confirmed, even though that this is coming out before Creature Commandos and everything before Creature Commandos is not connected, Boy Beetle is one that they are connecting to James Gunn's universe.
So, did James Gunn do this, did he?
No, but apparently it is a part of it because originally the plan was for everything past the Flash, like Boy Beetle and Aquaman 2, weren't going to be connected to James Gunn's universe, but James Gunn was like, I think we need to connect Boy Beetle.
Yep.
Because it's like, it'll be weird if you just got connected to this character and we are recasting him.
Yeah. Well, I can tell. I mean, James Gunn, big Marvel. This has got Marvel written all over it.
Yeah. So you're
Just saying. Like, it's just... Like, look at the image. I mean, it's a... Well, one, it's a bit Nebula looking, and it's also... But when you look at the trailer, it's a bit Iron Man as well. So, you've got Iron Man, you've got Nebula, Spider-Man with the... You know, his Iron Spidey suit and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just got Marvel written all over, I reckon.
Yeah.
Is that the way they're going with it? With James Gunn, he's going to put a bit of that type of spin on it?
James Gunn wasn't involved with this, so it's hard to say what he's going to do with the DC movies, but I think that I won't be surprised if he has some sort of Marvel flavour, especially the way that they're laying out the slate.
Yeah.
Because DC never had a slate. They were just like, okay, let's do Man of Steel, then let's jump
let's
right
just
into freaking Civil War.
Let's just do anything. Anything that someone
Yeah,
thinks
it's
of.
just like, let's just throw everything at wall and see what sticks and what's popular at that time.
One thing that Marvel do have is that they do have a storyline.
Yeah.
Right? And that's one thing that DC just didn't get. And they've never done it. It's just like, yeah, we'll do a Batman, but we'll do a series of Batmans.
Yeah.
Then we'll stop, and then 10 years later we'll do another one, maybe throw another one in there. And then, yeah, now you've got someone like James Gunn who heavily influenced what happened at Marvel.
Yeah.
And, you know, that whole storyline with the comics and everything. Whereas whereas DC just didn't have that, but maybe they're going to do that now. Which, in some respects, will be bad for them, I reckon. I mean, DC, I don't necessarily like DC compared to Marvel.
Well, I think I won't be surprised if it'll be good for DC, because if DC's doing good, Marvel will go like, especially with the fans, it's just like, oh, you want great movies and not just fan service and just funny movies that are terrible.
Yeah, no, but what I mean by that is that if you're going to have one that looks similar to the other, it's not going to help DC, I don't think. Marvel are Marvel. They've got it together. I don't know, they have good writers. They all, I don't know, these writers tend to go from DC to Marvel and floating because they're all bloody freelancers. So whoever's paying, they're going to go and write for. And it's the same as whoever designs their costumes and stuff like that. So it's good that DC are picking their game up, but I don't know if looking like Marvel is necessarily the best way to go.
Yeah, because, like, I think the thing is, too, I've always found DC less confusing than Star Wars, to be honest.
How can you say that, Jack? Star Wars is the
Because
easiest franchise.
Because you're like, okay, we had the prequels, then we have Rogue One, then we have Bad Batch, then we have Kenobi,
what's
then
Bad
we have
Batch?
Mandalorian,
Sorry,
then we have
go
Clone
back,
Wars.
stop, pull up. What's Bad Batch?
It's an animated series.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Yeah, and it's like...
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the original 3. That was the Bad Batch.
No, but then we have the original trilogy, then we have bloody Mando, all 3 seasons of that, then we have Ahsoka coming out, we have the new trilogy, then we have the bloody James Mangold 30 years ago Jedi one coming out, and then we're going to have the bloody Mandoverse movie, then we're going to have the bloody Rey building up the Resistance again movie.
Yeah.
It's just like, all that is confusing. At least DC's like, bloody Man of Steel happened, then Batman vs. Superman, Batman saw
I
the
suppose
travesty in Metropolis, and then he shows up.
Yeah, you're probably right with the Star Wars franchise in the fact that, yes, it's a bit all over the shop, but when someone like Disney goes out and buys it for how many billion? Some stupid amount of money.
I'm going to research that because I can't remember.
They actually need to make their money somehow. So they've got to make all of these offshoot movies so that they pull the crowds in to get the cash.
Yeah, because I don't know, because I always found Star Wars, especially when you add the shows into, I'm just like, well, where the hell are you going with this?
Yeah, I suppose, but
which at least DC is just like, yeah, sure, there's not a lot of great movies in there, even though a lot of the great ones stand out, but the storyline's not that confusing.
No, I suppose not.
It's just like, yeah, I guess that's, okay, so, 4.5 billion.
Right, yeah, so there you go, you got to make your money back somehow.
Yeah, well, I don't hate the Star Wars sequels as much as everyone else, and I don't hate Kenobi as much as everyone else.
Oh, look, I actually quite like the Star Wars stuff. Yeah, some of the latest ones have been a little bit weak, I suppose, compared to some of the others, but overall, I don't mind them. But but as I said, when you spend $4.5 billion buying a movie,
you expect
franchise,
goodness out of that, especially for the much they paid for.
Yeah, but how much? Yeah, and that's right. But that's where they've got to actually start to be a bit creative, so that they pull the crowds into the cinemas to get the money.
Well, exactly, and I think. Well, I mean, we're getting into a different conversation, but I guess the thing I'll add about that is that at least, like, with them making the sequel trilogy, that at least made me care a bit more about Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I actually don't mind Kenobi as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, Kenobi to me is my 4th favourite Star Wars thing behind Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So...
But,
anyway, so about Blue Beetle, what are your thoughts? I mean, it might be good. I don't mind old mate who plays Blue Beetle. He was out of...
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, as I said, it's just got that splash of Marvel all over it.
Yeah, because, like, and he's a big Blue Beetle fan, so it's one of those things where it's just like, they've actually... And the suit's not CGI.
Oh, isn't it?
It's practical.
Yeah, right.
It's like Turtles 1990 practical.
Yeah, okay.
Except for maybe the fins, but how are you going to make the fins practical without them wobbling about?
And the jetpack.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the only thing that's CGI, but the helmet and the suit and everything is all practical.
Yeah, okay.
So, but, no, I think that they're kind of getting to what I wanted basically all superhero movies to do, even though that Ben Affleck's Batman suit has been practical. Pattinson's Batman suit has been practical. Cavill's suit's been practical.
Yeah, but you don't have to do a lot. Yeah, but sorry, wasn't Cavill's... He was... Like, the suit might be practical, but the cape was CGI'd on, wasn't it? I did hear that somewhere.
I think some of the times it was CGI. But also, I mean, that's something that Marvel does do a bit terrible with their costumes, is the capes. The capes make the actors trip and fall over in scenes when you're trying to be serious.
Pick your cape up.
No, but you can't do that when you're in the middle of a scene. Like, you watch the bloody Boybury or in Hemsworth is just falling on his face because the cape wants to wrap it around himself, his legs, and make him fall over and all that. It's like, at least DC has the balls to go like, oh, you know what, we're going to get the bloody cape off and make our actors actually stand up.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, I'm excited for Blue Beetle. I don't think it's definitely on the lower end on my most anticipated movies of this year. Definitely The Flash is my most anticipated DC movie this year. But I think that Blue Beetle will be a good starting movie for James Gunn's universe.
Yeah. It will be.
Which I'm excited to see.
Next one?
Yep. So the next one is Barbie. Now, I've already been excited for this movie. The fact that I heard that Margot Robbie was going to do it and that Ryan Gosling was going to do it, I was like, screw it, I'm in. I don't even know what I'm expecting with this movie. So,
yeah, I didn't know what I was expecting.
yeah, exactly. So when the first trailer came out, and it was just the 2001: A Space Odyssey parody of all the girls' body looking up at Margot Robbie, and then Margot Robbie tipping the glasses, and then all the little girls chucking their dolls in the air and spinning around into the Barbie logo. I'm just like, what the heck is this? I do not get it. But then when this trailer came out, I was actually like, you know what? This actually looks very funny, and I think that this seems like something that I would take Mum to. So, what are your thoughts on this, Dad?
It's going to be a good kids movie.
Yeah, this. I mean,
I don't really know.
I don't think it's gonna be kids movie. I think it's gonna be like the Lego movie where it's like they throw jokes.
Yeah, possibly. Now tell me,
Jokes about the
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Was he in one of the Marvel movies? No.
No. Oh my god.
No, I just thought he might have been that dude. What?
I have some of his movies, but I haven't seen them. La La Land.
Oh yeah, actually yes, I have seen bits of that. I haven't seen all of it.
Yeah, I have La La Land. Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, no, okay, it's not who I thought it was then.
The Grey Man.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's good. And that's got what's his name in it?
Chris Evans.
Evans. Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of stuff that, I guess that's popular that I've seen. Like he's in the Nice Guys and The Notebook and
yeah,
Drive and stuff. But I think his big ones, definitely people would know him from La La Land and Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But no, the fact that it kind of caught me by surprise that Simu Liu is also in it.
And he's the guy
playing the other Ken.
Yeah, he's what's that?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then the fact that also Kate McKinnon's going to be in it.
I saw a movie with Kate McKinnon the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, it was that one with Nicole Kidman and Margot Robbie. What's it called?
Yeah, Bombshell.
Bombshell, yeah.
Yeah, with Kristen Stewart as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloody Twilight people. God. But no, I think in the fact that Will Ferrell, we even got 1 second of him in there.
Yep.
And Michael Cera, is in there that we saw in there for 1 second. He was the voice of Robin in the Lego Batman movie. Fly, Robin, fly.
Did I fall asleep in that? Possibly.
No, you didn't see that one in the theatre with us.
Well, weren't you lucky?
That's the movie that was oh, it's Batman and he's at my house. What are you doing here? Soups just happen to be in the hood. But
yep.
Yeah,
no, I have seen it. I think I've seen it at home here.
Yeah, it's very funny. But yeah, the fact that we're getting this movie, and I think that's gonna be a very not that I think that's going to be a 21 Jump Street or Lego Movie type parody, but I think that's going to poke fun at the property more than it pays respect.
Yeah.
So I think that alone gets me real excited for this movie. So I'm very excited for that. So the last child we're going to talk about is, of course, the Marvels. And, good, he was on the mark with that.
I told you by the end of it I'd be alright.
I'm
just warming the fingers up.
Freaking scared. I was like, oh, crap. But no, so the fact that we get to see Micah Rambeau again, actually, now we get to see the payoff of what she was recruited for at the end of WandaVision when the Skrull saw her in the movie theater and was like, I come to you on the behalf of a friend of your mother's, and the Skrull points up to the sky, and Micah Rambeau knows exactly what she's going to be doing. So, and then the fact that we get to see Miss Marvel, I'm really excited to see her on the big screen. I'm excited to see Carol Danvers back, and the payoff to what it was in the Miss Marvel post-credits scene. I'm really excited to see what happens with that. So, Dad, your thoughts on the Marvels trailer?
Yeah, no, it seemed to be alright. So, the young girl, that's Miss Marvel.
Yes.
So she's out, or where does she come into? That was with, like she's been introduced to us before in another series, hasn't she?
Yeah.
What one was it?
Miss Marvel.
Okay, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't seen that.
Yeah. That came out, I want to say, it was coming out around the same time as Kenobi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, I saw Kenobi, but I didn't see Miss Marvel though.
Yeah, that was coming back to back with that, and that was, people had lots of complaints that they had to stay up later to watch an episode of Miss Marvel as opposed to staying up early and watching Kenobi.
Yeah, right, okay.
But I think that the fact that with Andor and She-Hulk, they kind of push, if I'm not mistaken, they pushed Andor back for She-Hulk to have more episodes and more time before they had Andor come out.
Yeah, okay.
But no, I think that the fact that Secret Invasion is going to tie directly into Captain Marvel 2 with the Skrulls and everything.
So there's Captain Marvel 2's coming out, is it?
Well, that's what this is.
Oh, this is the sequel, is it?
Yeah.
To Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, the original title was Captain Marvel 2, but then they realised that they're doing Miss Marvel, and they're also introducing all these characters that are related to Captain Marvel, so they were like, let's just call them Marvels.
Yeah, right, okay.
But, no, so I think that...
So, sorry, the chick that was introduced to us in WandaVision...
Yeah.
That's, what's her name? Like her character?
Oh, Micah Rambeau.
Yeah, okay. So she becomes a Marvel, does she?
Oh my god, what's her name? Her super name is a bit confusing to non-comic readers. I'm going to try and I want Michael Rambeau.
But I think the whole thing's going to be. I mean, it looks pretty good. I'd go and see it, I think.
Yeah, I think that it looks very much like the good combination of Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and the fact that they're actually matching all those tones is actually very impressive.
Yeah. So this is all part of this. Is it phase? What are we up to?
5.
5. So this is all part of that.
Yeah. So the kickoff to Phase 5 was this year with Ant-Man 3.
Okay, I didn't see it. And
No.
so this thing that Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
That's part of Phase 5 as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't find the character's name. I'm sure we'll find it for the next episode. But
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, no, I think because the multiverse saga at the moment they're doing less multiverse than what we kind of expected. because of that, I think that's one of those things where it's just like, because Thor: Love and Thunder didn't necessarily have any multiverse things in it.
No.
She-Hulk didn't have any multiverse things in it. They set up stuff in those movies, but not necessarily anything that's multiverse-wise. Which 2 years in a row, we had 2 movies come out back-to-back that were dealing with the multiverse, with both Spider-Man No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, right, okay.
But then the shows in between that. Sorry, I'm coughing. But the shows in between that didn't deal with the multiverse.
Yeah, right, okay.
But yeah, so I think... Alright, let's go away from the trailers and we'll get to talking about the Ghostbusters movie. Because I think Ghostbusters... obviously coming out this year, we talked about it on the first episode. But I thought to bring it back because we did get a little bit more news than I expected. Especially a month of the podcast. And apparently the Ghostbusters sequel has confirmed to have the cast of Kumail Nanjiani, Patton Oswalt, Emily Arland Lind, and James Actor. I have heard of Kumail Nanjiani. He was in Eternals. I haven't seen Eternals yet. But I heard of Patton Oswalt. I haven't seen anything with him in it. But the other two are kind of no-names to me. I think it's one of those things where it's like... But I have heard that the original cast... Well, McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard and Paul Rudd have been confirmed to be coming back. So...
Was Paul Rudd in this other one?
Well, yeah, he was in the Afterlife.
I don't think I saw the Afterlife. I only saw the one with Hemsworth in it.
Afterlife, the...
Oh, that's where they go back to the haunted house, isn't it? Back to that house.
They go to an old house of Egon's, and then they find the Ghostbusters stuff at that house.
That's right, yeah. Actually, maybe I have seen that. I can't
remember.
Yeah.
So, Dad, your thoughts on the new cast confirmed for Ghostbusters Afterlife 2?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's... to tell you the truth, I haven't been following it. I don't really know. The last one, from what I can remember of it, as I said, I can't really remember much of it. Yeah. I didn't fall asleep, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it'll be all right. I don't know if I'd go and see it in the movies, but I'll see it when it comes out on some other streaming platform.
Yeah, but this one is continuing off the original 2 movies. Because the last one continued that because they actually had Ray and Venkman and Winston return at the end of that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
So, I think that this one... I think the first movie was more pay respect to Howard Ramis's legacy.
Yep.
Because even the family was related to Egon.
Yep.
And then the house was Egon's, and Egon built the giant, the giant trap with Shandor and the proton pack zapping into the trap.
Yep.
To make sure that the ghosts don't come out.
Yeah, right, okay.
So all that was tied to Egon, but now the fact that the post-credit scene of Afterlife actually expands that Winston brought the firehouse back from Starbucks and is actually building the Ghostbusters company up. I think that there's going to be, a way to bring these new actors in, and also keep McKenna Grace and Finn Wolfhard, because I think that they would have to be part-time Ghostbusters because they're still in school.
Yeah.
So I think that that's going to be a interesting thing to do for this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I'm excited to see McKenna Grace. She's bloody incredible.
Yeah.
There's no movie I've seen that she's bad in. Like Gifted, we bloody love Gifted.
Yeah, no, she was
with
in that.
Evans.
Yeah.
And she was the little girl in that.
She was a little brat.
Yeah. But she's good at playing a little brat.
Yeah.
But no, so I just wanted to quickly mention that because we brought up the last episode. So now let's talk about something that we're going to talk about a little later, but I need to talk about it now because, for the love of God, I did bring up the tweets. Amy Jo Johnson did not return for Power Rangers Once and Always. I do have the tweet here that I swear I'm going to pull up, because I thought that this was crazy. So
why didn't she come back? That's the chick here in the pink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this pink one here is the one that was in the special.
Yeah.
I can't bloody point.
The one behind you, mate.
Yeah. But I was hoping to get there. Bloody cat, that's what I'm trying to say. But no, so she put out this tweet saying, "Please stop saying I did not return because of money. Simply not true. Maybe I just didn't want to wear spandex in my 50s or couldn't go to New Zealand for a month, or none of your bizwax. JDF and I both chose not to for our own reasons. They filmed before he passed. #Power Rangers."
Yeah.
So
maybe she didn't age well.
Well, she still looks bloody great.
Oh, does she? I mean, I don't know. Don't know who she is.
Yeah, I didn't put in a current picture. I should have put in a current picture, but I thought that it would, to you, I just would look like it was some random girl.
Yeah.
But no, so okay. I guess that's fine, but Amy Jo, just take into account that you still look great, okay? You have aged, but everyone ages.
Yeah, but you know what? She's got her reasons why she didn't do it, and would it have made it any better?
I mean, I might do this in our video at some point, but imagine how cool it would be once they freed all... Okay, not all the Rangers that Red captured had to be in it because they were focusing on Mighty Morphin and not every other season. But imagine once they freed Austin and JDF and Amy that they actually joined in the fight at the end because they actually duplicated the bloody coins. And you see that in the special. Alpha and Billy have duplicated the power coins for Rocky and Kat to use because Jason and Kimberly and Tommy aren't there.
Yeah, right. So
there are ways that you could use it, that you could use all three of them, but the fact that if it's only because she didn't age well, I guess that's fine, but Amy Jo, you still look bloody great. I bet that you're still people's bloody number one crush. Okay?
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, she's got her reasons, mate. She didn't do it, so... Oh, well.
No,
You know what? I mean, sort of get it. Why would you want to be wearing spandex in your 50s? I sort of get that.
Yeah, but, buddy, David and Walter, boy, still look great. And they haven't bloody aged a day.
Well, maybe they de-aged them. I don't know. But,
no,
you know...
No, they didn't.
But anyway, my thoughts on it were that it's no better than the other stuff that they put out however many years ago.
Well, we'll get into that review a little later because, bloody people, bloody making me upset. So, now, on to the next thing, another Power Rangers thing. Netflix, there are rumours going around that Netflix is going to do a young adult Power Rangers universe coming to Netflix with movies and series. And, oh my god, what was his name? We laughed about recently. Jonathan Inwisel.
Yeah.
He's, which, I kid you not, the bloody weirdest name I've ever heard in my life.
But he wasn't in the Mighty Morphin thing that I watched last night, no.
No, Jonathan Inwisel is coming idea with a universe for Netflix.
Okay.
For Power Rangers. And these aren't the designs. I just grabbed a
fan thing.
Yeah, I just was like, oh, it looks good for this. But no, I think that that's a good idea, and I loved the Power Rangers 2017 movie, and I think that that's the best Power Rangers thing we've ever gotten. So the fact that they're doing more of that sort of stuff really gets me on board, and I think that there are good things about Power Rangers and ways to make it better than the original series, and very much like your Marvel, DC, and Ninja Turtles 2014 type movies and series. I think that there are ways to do it, and I think that if Jonathan Inwistle's plan goes well, I think that might be, alongside in 2017, might be the best Power Rangers universe ever.
Yeah,
Dad, what are your thoughts?
Well, if they're going to do a modern day thing, maybe it might be all right.
I think that's
maybe.
what's going to be. I don't think it's
I
going to be.
I didn't like the old ones. Didn't like the old ones. So anyway, we'll wait and see.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be the spandex. I think it's actually going to be more... Not that it's going to be in the 2017 universe. I think it's going to be more like that kind of technology where they use modern filmmaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for that. So next up is we're going to talk about DC. Now, Henry Cavill is apparently making a cameo in The Flash.
Didn't he get the boot?
Yes, he did. The only problem that I have with this cameo, because apparently there have been things circling around, and part of me doesn't want to look on social media this Wednesday because, God, they're showing The Flash at CinemaCon this week.
So where's that?
In
America, obviously.
Yeah. But they're showing that whole movie at CinemaCon.
Yeah, right. So when does this come out, though?
If you remember, it was June.
June, yeah. So
it was like June 18th. I think it's coming out.
Yep.
But yeah, no, apparently...
What do we do now, Batman?
Yeah, we try not to die. For the past next 2 episodes, you guys, the next episode we have something big planned for The Flash after this episode, but I kid you not, we're going to be calling The Flash trailer a lot. Dad?
I didn't do anything.
Get back on.
Yeah, hold on.
But no, it doesn't matter. I won't cut it. But no. So the fact that the weird thing is that apparently we are getting there's a play button there.
Right.
That's like the weird thing about this cameo, and this kind of makes me go like, what? Is that it's stolen from Justice League. And I guess that's fine, but it's like, I don't know why Henry Cavill Superman would be in the Speed Force. Because if Flash is running through time, he's the only, there's a Flash and Superman, there's a debate of like who's faster. But I don't think Superman's that fast that he can be running through the Speed Force. I think that's just complete nonsense.
Maybe.
So
I think they can do anything in a movie.
Thoughts, Dad?
Yeah, look, I'll go and see it. I think it'll be interesting. I mean, I'll give DC a go. Don't normally have much to do with the DC side of things, but...
Wait, you're not even excited for Keaton's Batman?
Yeah, and I quite like Keating's Batman. And Cavill might be good too, but I didn't watch Man of Steel, if you remember.
And why is that? Because I like it.
Yeah, no, we put it on for 3 seconds and you went, I'm not watching this. And then 2 weeks later you went, oh yeah, I watched that movie the other night, dude.
And even better, it was over at the coast so no one could judge me.
So anyway, moving on. So I think it'll be alright. But yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, I think I'll be curious to see, I want something bigger for Henry Cavill. I want him to actually have a goodbye, not just some Speed Force crap, but the fact that he's going to be it gets me sold. If anything, sure, bring back Linda Carter and bloody Adam West in this movie. Let's get everyone back from fucking DC.
Yep.
Yep. But I just realised I did something that I wasn't meant to. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for this movie. It's my number 1 most anticipated of the year. Hopefully it will turn out to be my number 1 favourite movie of the year. So I'm curious of what that's going to do. So, next up, we're going to talk about Joker 2, and of course that is Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Set photos have been released a few weeks ago, so when I heard Lady Gaga's doing Harley Quinn, I'm like, okay, that's a bit odd. I can't really picture anyone else but Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. But these set photos here and the clip that someone shot on the set of them doing the dance on the Joker steps from the first movie, I'm like, okay, maybe I can get a little bit more on board with this darker version of Harley, even though that I imagine Harley more wacky cartoon like Margot Robbie's version. So, Dad, what are your thoughts on Lady Gaga's Harley in these set photos?
I don't actually know much about Lady Gaga as an actor, but look, she might be all right. She certainly looks the part. All crazy and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know if I'll go to the movies and see it. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that that's going to be something that's going to be really interesting to see, because when we see Harley Quinn, we normally imagine Margot Robbie.
Yeah. And Margot Robbie has played a good Harley Quinn. You got big shoes to fill. Like Lady Gaga's got big shoes to fill, I reckon.
Yeah, because like not only that, but you're the first live action Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is like Ben Affleck in Batman vs Superman trying to go up against Christian Bale on the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, you have big shoes to fill of what you're going to do with the character.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that there's going to be a way that they write and portray her differently than Margot's version.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Because this version's more dealing with PTSD and more epilepsy type stuff.
Oh, and sort of mental health and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I think that that's more the Joker universe, and the Joker universe is more realistic than the other versions of Batman and Joker and stuff.
Yeah. Right.
So, but yeah, so the next thing, we're going to be talking about the Russo brothers, because the fact that the Russo brothers are interesting in doing Brave and the Bold for James Gunn gets me really excited. I really like their Marvel movies. The fact that they did a good job with the last two Captain America movies and the last two Avengers movies make me really excited to see if they do Brave and the Bold. I have heard things that apparently...
What's Brave and the Bold?
The Batman movie we talked about last episode.
Is it live action? No.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
But yeah, Brave and the Bold, because I have heard things that apparently Andy Muschietti is going to be directing it, but I think the Russo brothers might do a good job with Batman, because even though I don't have it in here, but the fact that Ben Affleck found his version of Batman with Andy Muschietti, who did the Flash, I think that I might be a little bit more interested in a Batman movie with the Russo brothers than Andy Muschietti.
Yeah.
That's done in stuff. Thoughts, Dad?
Oh yeah, I mean the Russo brothers did a good job when they were with Marvel. I mean, hopefully they'll do the Batman the justice that it deserves. So,
well, not like Batman hasn't got justice.
No.
He's the only one that has decent to good or amazing movies.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, they've probably been about the best DC movies over the years that have been done.
Even the worst ones are still some of the best.
Possibly.
Like, I would still count Batman and Robin not one of the best, but definitely not one of the worst.
Yeah.
DC movies. I would count that more maybe to Wonder Woman 1984 or Aquaman or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that it's very exciting for me to get to see the Russo brothers back, and the fact that we're going to get them doing Batman gets me really excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's jump to the Marvel side of things with this next thing, and Deadpool 3 has just dropped some more casting announcements for us, and I am going to pull those up right now. Even though they'll probably know them, I am going to pull this up just in case. So apparently Blind Owl is coming back, and Vanessa, and
Who's Vanessa? Oh, he's Blind Owl. That's the little lady he lives with. Yeah.
But Vanessa's the bloody chick that got shot.
Oh, the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But they basically, at the end of Deadpool 2 that we watched recently, that they basically just erased that whole movie.
Yeah.
With that whole turn back time scene.
Yeah, they do.
So, and also Colossus is coming back, and you would also presume Negasonic Teenage Warhead's coming back.
Yeah, well, there's always a bit of banter that goes on between Deadpool and her.
Well, exactly. So the fact that we're probably getting her Colossus Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine just gets me very excited to see what the hell is going to happen in this. So
didn't Wolverine die in Logan? So how's he coming back?
Well, so basically, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman said this in their, I kid you not, these bloody puns, in their part Hugh, because they did the Deadpool announcement where they announced Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, and then they did a part Hugh, not a part 2, a part Hugh, bloody puns, of like how they're getting Logan into it, because they even said, because even Hugh Jackman didn't want to mess with the legacy of the Logan movie.
Yeah.
Because he was very proud of that movie.
Yep.
So I think that it's more, we don't know what era it's between. I want to say Days of Future Past is probably the last modern Wolverine before Logan. It's either between Days of Future Past.
Oh, so it's an offshoot between from before Logan.
Yeah, so I think it's before Days of Future Past and after X-Men Origins.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere around there. So it could be between the original X-Men trilogy, or it could be near the second Wolverine and the first class Days of Future Past era.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure where this movie fits. I know in general, probably by Deadpool 2, that these ones are more the first class universe, because we even see the first class era X-Men in there.
Yeah.
Behind the door shutting it.
Yeah.
But even then, I've heard that every possible X-Men character and casting could be a part of this.
Yeah.
Because there's even rumours that Ian McKellen can come back.
Can I just say something on your picture?
Yeah.
Is that the actual official picture?
No, because that's...
I was going to say, that's got a Doctor Strange thing happening in the back.
Yeah, because that Wolverine picture is from Days of Future Past.
Oh, right, okay.
But I think because this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I won't be surprised if they get him in the yellow and blue suit, like a modern version of it.
Yeah.
But I think we've even heard that Ian McKellen can return in this movie. We've even heard that Patrick Stewart can come back. So, I won't be surprised if even James Marsden will come back as Cyclops and Halle Berry can come back as Storm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I like Deadpool.
Yeah, and...
Bit of a dude.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that we even just got, even though that's restock footage from Origins, that even just that snippet of Hugh Jackman at the end, we even know that their banter's going to be great in this movie.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that. So, yeah, I'm really excited for Deadpool 3. So, jumping over to the next thing, apparently Adam Driver is going to be the Marvel Studios Mr. Fantastic in Fantastic Four. Now, I think that...
That's Kylo Ren, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I would more go with someone like John Krasinski. I would have liked to have seen him more as Mr. Fantastic other than getting bloody killed by Wanda. I think that's... But I can kind of see that you don't... When you're John Krasinski's age, wouldn't necessarily want to be doing the superhero thing for 10 years or so, however, because I think Kevin Feige has said that he wants the MCU to go for 80 years, maybe more.
Great.
Yeah. So even though that I am excited for that, I am kind of like, really? That's
a long time.
What? I think they want to keep up with the comics. I think that's part of it.
Yep.
But yeah, no. So I mean, it's not the worst casting decision, but I think that they probably could have done a little bit. Your thoughts on Jarvis?
Yeah.
Reed?
I mean, I don't know much about the Fantastic Four. I think I've seen part of the first one with Chris Evans. I don't, yeah.
Flame on!
Yeah, I don't think I've seen... That's all I've seen of them. Don't know anything about them, really.
Yeah, they're Marvel's first family.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe
Deadpool needs to join them.
Jesus Christ. Could you imagine? Jesus God. That would be the bloody...
The Fantastic Five.
That would be the bloody weirdest thing ever. But even then, you even have times when they're still the Fantastic Four, but then they have Silver Surfer. So they're still Fantastic Four, but they have a fifth member in there.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's even times... Now, I really want to see the Fantastic Four turn to the Future Foundation and add Spider-Man in there, because Spider-Man has been a part of Fantastic Four, the Future Foundation, for a few years now. So if we get to see in the college Spider-Man trilogy that he becomes friends with Johnny Storm or something, that would be very, very cool to see. Because I think as soon as we get done with Phase 6, because Secret Wars is going to end all that, when we get to Phase 7, that will probably be the X-Men and Fantastic Four saga.
Yeah.
So that would be real exciting to see. But yeah, I think Adam Driver is a decent choice to play Mr. Fantastic, and I really want to see that. Okay, so we're almost done. We'll just quickly mention this. So, apparently, Thomas Hayden Church was talking recently, and he mentioned that there has been talks by Kevin Feige, him, and Amy Pascal that Sandman can return in future projects.
Yeah.
I really want to see this happen. Sandman is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains because of Thomas Hayden's portrayal of the character, and he even said that there is a reason why he can't turn human in No Way Home, and you just see him at the end, which is restock footage from Spider-Man 3. Now, I think that I don't know if the way that he talks about it seems like it's more he can continue on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I don't know how that would work because he literally just got sent back to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2007 timeline at the end of No Way Home. So I don't know if that just means that they're actually going to do some sort of Spider-Man 4 with answers to from No Way Home, or he's going to come back in something like, I don't know, like Secret Wars or something before that. But I'm really, really want to know how or what they're going to do with Sandman, depending on the movie or whether if it's part of the MCU or the Sony universe. Thoughts, Dad?
Yeah, Sandman was alright as a character. I think, yeah, I mean, he didn't, in the last Spider-Man movie, he was back in that scene where they were on the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
So he couldn't go back to being human in that, could he? Is that what you said?
Yeah, apparently, from what Thomas Hayden Church has said, there was a reason why he couldn't go back to human.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because... I know that there were budgeting reasons why they weren't able to do the human form.
Yeah.
of Sandman, but I don't know like movie wise like what the answer was.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I really... Yeah, no, it'll be alright. I mean, I don't have much of an opinion about it. I don't... Villains are villains, mate.
Yeah, because like I think that one of the reasons was that they were already de-aging Defoe and Molina, but they thought it would be really difficult to de-age Thomas.
Okay.
Because I think
maybe he had too many wrinkles. But that William Dafoe's got a lot too. They did all right with him.
Yeah, but I think that they said it would be more difficult to de-age Sandman. I would like when you do look at Thomas Hayden Church, he does look older, but he doesn't look like. To be honest, I think that Molina and Defoe look older than
maybe.
Hayden.
Well, but maybe they are older. I don't know.
Well, I think so because, like, I mean, I don't know how long Wings was going for, but Wings.
What's Wings?
Was a show that Thomas Hayden Church was a part of for a while.
Okay.
I do know it got cancelled, but it had reruns, like, for years.
Yeah, right, okay.
But no, I'm very excited to see what they do. I'm a big Spider-Man fan and big Tobey Maguire Spider-Man fan, so anything from that universe, I'm excited to see what happens and what they would do with these characters going forward, either it's after or before Secret Wars.
Yep.
So, next thing, more Spider-Man, but jumping to the MCU, apparently Wilson Fisk is going to be the main villain for Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. This gets me really excited, and the fact that we're actually getting to see Spider-Man and Kingpin on screen now gets me really excited to see what's going to happen in Spider-Man 4, and the fact that this is the first time that we get to see a Kingpin Spider-Man fight because of the rights that happened, with obviously Fox owning Daredevil and Sony owning Spider-Man. This gets me real excited to see Spider-Man 4 and if Spider-Man is in Born Again or something like that. So, Dad?
So does this tie, what's his name? The lawyer.
Matt Murdock.
Yeah, what's that shit? Who's he playing?
Daredevil.
Does this tie Daredevil with Spider-Man, does it?
Yeah.
Because Kingpin's part of that Daredevil series.
Yeah, but,
Well, I suppose he was the one that turned up in Aunt May's kitchen, didn't he? Matt Murdock?
yes.
With the brick. He caught the brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it obviously, when you see No Way Home, it makes sense that they would get Matt Murdock. To someone that's new, it might be kind of weird and out of the blue that they would jump to a Kingpin Wilson Fisk.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man has fought Kingpin many a times in the comics and has teamed up with Daredevil multiple times. So I think that they would adapt that to Spider-Man 4 and just keep it a street-level Spider-Man story.
Yeah, right, okay.
As opposed
I think it'll be good. So when does this come out?
We haven't necessarily got a date, but we have heard that it has been confirmed that they're going to do another trilogy.
Okay.
So I would presume it would be before Kang Dynasty, maybe?
Yep.
Because the director Shang-Chi is doing... the director Shang-Chi is directing Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
And I think that he would want Spider-Man to be one of the main focuses of that movie.
Yeah, okay.
So, I know I'm excited to see Vincent D'Onofrio come back as Kingpin after Hawkeye, but he's also going to be in Echo and obviously Born Again. So, I'm happy to see this Daredevil stuff get through Disney and actually on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
So let's talk about the last bit of news before we jump into the reviews. So the Josh brothers are attached to write a script for a live action TMNT reboot. This gets me super excited. I obviously am a big live action Ninja Turtles fan, whether if it's the Henson movies or the Bay movies. I think that's really exciting, and I think that I'm curious to know who the Josh brothers are, because I have no idea. Thoughts, Dad?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was happening, but yep. I thought I only knew about the animated one.
Yeah, I'm trying to look, because they are, okay, so they haven't really done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so don't know anything about it, to tell you the truth.
But look, they're attached to write a script for Turtles, so that makes me excited. The fact that it's going to be live action gets me excited. Yeah. Probably a little more excited than Mutant Mayhem, but I am excited for Mutant Mayhem. I think that it's going to be a tradition that's going to be one of those weird things that it's like after Mutant Mayhem, they're going to do a live action movie.
Yeah.
Much like how they did kind of split off between the two live action franchises, between the 90s ones and the Bay ones. They had TMNT between those.
Yeah.
But that gets me really excited. So we're almost done. We're going to do 2 reviews. I don't know how long the reviews are going to go, but we are going to try our best to keep them short. But if we don't want to, we can keep them longer. But the first review we're going to do is Super Mario Brothers. Woohoo! We saw this at a 9 o'clock showing. I kid you not, we were a little tired. Come back to the theatre because it was actually really late. But I actually really liked it. I think it caught the spirit of the video games, but also throwing in all the Easter eggs and the music cues. And I think that Chris Pratt was honestly a great Mario, better than what everyone was expecting. And I think that this is something that's gonna be played a lot with families and with big video game nerds as a whole. And Dad, your thoughts on Super Mario Bros. Before we get into the full conversation?
It was okay, but yeah, I shouldn't have paid money to go and see it. I fell asleep in it. It wasn't anything super duper or anything. It's a good kids movie, possibly.
Yeah.
There was a lot of kids in there before we went in. Jack Black played a good part, like his character, and as you said, Chris Pratt did too. The best scene was when Mario and Donkey Kong went head to head. That was the best part of it.
And even then, you were still falling asleep.
I was, yeah.
But no, and the fact that I guess the weird thing is that like you complain about these things not having too much action, but yet compared to the next movie we're going to talk about in this movie, there was a lot of action.
Yeah, maybe, but it's animated too. I struggle with animated movies, but yeah.
Can't wait to see Mutant Mayhem with you and that be your complaint.
Well, actually, I'd go and see that one, but I mean, you dragged me along to this. I shouldn't have paid money. That's my view.
I guess the thing is too is that I expect you more to like the Spider-Man type anime movies and Ninja Turtles anime movies than this. But I thought that because like this stuff, Mum's not gonna watch. So I'm like, I might as well take Dad because he's actually into this type of stuff.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not a gamer for a start. I don't.
But you've played Mario stuff.
No, I have, but I'm not a gamer. I play every now and then, mate.
Even people who are not gamers still play Mario games.
Oh, no, but, yeah. It's here or there for me.
Oh, come on, Dad.
No.
I actually really like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I think that was one of the funniest bits. I thought that he was not going to be a great Donkey Kong, but actually listening to it, I was like, you know what, this is actually really good. And the fact that he was doing stuff that I didn't think that they would do in that movie. Like the whole love-hate relationship between him and Mario was very, very funny, and I think that the movie did a great job at kind of being a movie that's a video game movie, but like modernizing it for modern audiences, but being respectful to the source material.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that was a great way of doing it, and I really, really like that. All right, so that was our review of Super Mario Bros. The movie. To be honest, we weren't really going to watch it a second time. I was expecting the review to go for longer, but we weren't going to watch it a second time because we've already watched it and I've already done a review of it. So if you want to hear my more in-depth, non-spoiler thoughts, go check out that review. But this next one we might go for a little bit longer, and this is of course Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. We did just watch this last night, and we also talked about the trailer last time. I think that we're going to repeat a lot of stuff that we talked about in the trailer in this, but this one is going to be a spoiler review, and we're going to talk about certain scenes and certain things that happened, and going to explain some. I'm probably going to be explaining things to Dad that he didn't, that he doesn't know because he's never watched a lot of the Power Rangers series before this. So, you guys hopefully you guys have already watched my review because I've already gone in depth talking about it, and I do have a ranking coming soon, so you'll hear more of my thoughts there. So, Dad, give your review, your thoughts on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always.
It's Power Rangers. It has a modern spin on it. It's got better footage, I suppose. But the villain suits are still looking pretty crappy. And
I did warn you that.
To be quite honest, even the Power Ranger suits are still pretty crappy. That picture you had up before, although it's not an official one, if they look, if they had better costumes and stuff like that, it might be still different. The storyline's still not amazing. But I never watched them as a kid. These are the 1990s, aren't they?
93, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing other stuff, mate. I wasn't hanging around watching this stuff. And it's never interested me at all. Although I heard a young guy yesterday walking down the street who would have been similar to your age, and he talking to a mate and went, "Oh, yeah, I watched that 30-year reunion of the Power Rangers the other day and thought it was pretty good." And I went, "Oh, right." So...
See?
But, but it's your age group. I never watched it. So, and I don't like. It's pretty dodgy TV, I reckon.
Even I was too young for Power Rangers.
No, you were, but
until Channel Go came on.
It was only 10 years later that you know.
Oh yeah, because the thing is too is that we talked about last time how the body, my finger, the mouths still
they don't move.
But that's kind of the point.
But why? Why is it? Don't.
But
put something there. There's nothing wrong. It's like Iron Man having something over his mouth. Yes, but there's just a slit there. So there you're showing their lips and you're thinking that something's going to move.
Yeah, but when you're looking at the suits, you're not necessarily looking at the mouth. You're looking at the full thing.
No, but it looks as though they're talking.
It doesn't look ridiculous.
But it's like they're talking telepathically to each other. They,
But they are. Because they have communicators in the body.
I'm talking without my mouth moving. How do you do that?
No, but they have movability in the helmets.
Oh, I'm sure they do. But what I'm saying is that make it look. Put a black piece there or something. Don't show the mouth.
Yeah, I mean.
At least then you've got a bit of a. You can think that they're talking. At least that just looks as though they don't talk, but yet they're talking. How's that happen? It's like a narrator on the movie going, "I'm going to talk to," it's just bizarre.
Yeah, but I guess the thing is too, I did warn you about the bad guys and how that's a little cheesy.
Yeah, you did. But the storyline was a bit weak too. Like, oh, we're going to
the
put this...
darkest thing Power Rangers has ever done.
Oh, like, we're going to catch the baddies, we're going to put a big magnet that's used in a wrecking yard.
Sure.
To go, tink, and we're going to catch
that wasn't really the main storyline. The main storyline was bloody Trini getting killed.
Oh, yeah, I know that. But you had to catch the villain, though.
Yeah, but that, like... How else are you going to catch a bad guy that's full of bloody metal?
Yeah, true. Maybe.
Because
they didn't do it to Iron Man. He was metal.
No, but the Marvel heroes were not that dumb.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Power Rangers are at least a little dumb.
Yeah.
But no, like I said earlier, I like Power Rangers because I think that there is a way to modernize it and to make it not seem stupid.
Yeah, and that's right. There's a lot of room to move, and maybe this thing that Netflix is doing may actually do it some justice and, bring it out of the 1990s and actually bring it into the...
Yeah, because,
the 21st century.
Is because even... People are saying exactly what you were saying, how it's, like, exactly like the original series and, like, it's still cheesy and ridiculous, but it's, like, they want to make... I know the filmmakers want to, especially with this special, mix the nostalgia of the 90s series with modern filmmaking of today.
Yeah.
And I think that the way that... I guess I'm more my opinion is more on the more modern filmmaking than it is on the original 90s nostalgia. Because the fact that you're actually getting sweeping shots and you're actually getting good CGI Zords.
Yeah.
And you're getting, like, the weapons not smacking people once.
Yeah.
And actually killing them and actually having the parties actually explode into rubble and not just land on the ground and disappear fully.
Yeah.
It's like, all of that, I guess, sold me more than the actual 90s nostalgia bit that's Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Because they actually improved it a lot from the original series.
Possibly. I can't say that I've seen an original one in a long time. You used to watch them as a kid, but yeah,
even that wasn't the original series. It was those like 2020, 2011 series.
Yeah, but they're still pretty crappy costumes and but they're still pretty crappy costumes and
it doesn't help that
storylines and
this thing was all original footage, same as the 95 movie. This thing was all original footage, which the other stuff is all still from Japan.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why, like, movies like this one, the 95 one and the 2017 one, is because they're all American footage.
Yeah.
And not stolen from Japan.
No.
Because, like, when they do things like that, like, yeah, sure, the storyline might not be great, but the actual filmmaking is a way that I kind of expect a Power Rangers special or movie to be.
Yeah.
Because the fact that... okay, so I want to talk about Rita, because you do talk about that she's a little ridiculous, and I do agree with that. But the way she came to be was kind of creepy.
What do you mean? Is Rita the daughter?
No, that's Mim.
Oh, yeah.
After 10,000 years!
Oh, the villain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the way she came to be, especially that version, it was creepy as hell. I was creeped out the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
With, like, Billy and Alpha 8 at that time, trying to find the remaining pieces of Zordon from the Z-Wave which I haven't seen in the Zordon era, so in space, but at the end of In Space, the In Space Rangers go to Zordon, and he talks them into sacrificing himself to basically get rid of all the evilness in the world.
Yeah.
So they slice the tube, and then Zordon goes out into the world and gets rid of Rita and all these villains. And then what happens is that Rita becomes a character called Mystic Mother, which, to be fair, is kind of a ridiculous name.
Just a bit.
Yeah. But the but that evil soul is still out there.
Yeah.
So that evil soul got sucked up into that time vortex in the tube where Zordon's meant to be, and the boy that you think is Zordon at first, but it turns purple and all wavy and stuff. You're like, what is this? But then it gets cracked and goes straight to Alpha 5. That's horrifying.
Right.
And then Alpha turns into Rita, and then that's how the origins of Rita came to be, and that is more, I guess, more of a past thing. But then, in chronological order anyway, that goes from that to her killing Trini. That is one of the most sad, emotionalist Power Rangers storylines we've seen out of the series and the movies in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the movies, like, they do, and even the series have emotional elements, but they don't have that, like, full grasp emotional story. They're always, like, the same Power Ranger, like, goofiness.
Yep.
But with modern updates.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one actually had an idea of the storyline of killing off Trini and having Mim replace her as the Ranger and stuff like that. I thought that was actually a really grasping story.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because and apparently I've heard that Mim is going to come back in the new series, which I'm probably going to be seeing because they even mentioned that I don't know what it was about, but Billy, Adam wanted Billy to go in space with him and Aisha. So that might leave us open to see Adam, Aisha, and Billy in Cosmic Fury.
Yeah.
And the fact that might, and I won't be surprised if Cosmic Fury might reset the Power Rangers universe and go into that dark Power Rangers universe that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think that might be more of an interesting way to do Power Rangers than just doing the cheesy filmmaking, stealing from Japan footage.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that there are really good. I think that there are pros about Power Rangers, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's like you still have those cheesy elements that people can't get beyond. But I think that if you do something more, not necessarily the exact same thing, but keep it more in the vibe of the 2017 movie, you'll get audiences more invested in Power Rangers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you would have more of the people that like Marvel and even DC and the Bay Turtles to get more interested in the universe of Power Rangers.
Possibly. They've got a lot of work to do.
They do, but I think that there is ways to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's impossible.
No, possibly not. It's just they've got a lot of things to pick up to get it to that level. They're not there, and they're a long way off getting it to the Marvel, even DC level.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different conversation that we might have another time. But the Power Rangers is that's why I think that when you watch fan films and stuff, and they actually have darker storylines, even though the costumes might still be ridiculous, at least the storyline that they get is better than the series. I think that's where you would get people grasping on it more.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think that this had the right elements for, even though I liked it overall, and it's my second favourite Power Rangers movie behind 2017, I think that they are elements of it that you can go off into that different, more dark direction than keeping it in that cheesy 90s Power Rangers.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I'm curious to see what they do. I know Cosmic Fury is almost right around the corner, which when they drop that trailer, we will talk about it on here. We might not watch the series. I might watch episodes and do like first reactions of the episodes. I will do something for Cosmic Fury, but I'm really excited to see what the Power Rangers do going forward if they do reset with Cosmic Fury reset the whole Power Rangers universe and go into that dark direction.
Yeah.
Which I think that might be more interesting to us, and we'll get more excited for Power Rangers.
Yeah. Well, let's
than
hope
what
so.
they were. So, yeah. So, guys, thank you for joining us here again. That was the end of our second episode. Next week we will basically do catch up on some of the trailers for that came out this month but haven't necessarily come out yet, like the Flash 2 trailer, where it's basically going to be coming out, I want to say tomorrow-ish or like this afternoon, because it's still Monday in America. We will do a giant next month's episode is probably going to be a little bit longer because we are going to talk about Guardians 3, Fast 10, and Little Mermaid. And we are going to do a chart, a character chart list of who we think is going to appear, whether if it's a full role or a cameo in The Flash, which I'll explain all the rules for that next episode, but I'm very excited for that. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me and Dad on this episode. I'm not so excited to edit this, but for God's sake. But yeah, so guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Hit subscribe. Also hit the little bell icon to get notified of the other podcast episodes that we get done on here. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Okay.
Take care.
See you all later. Bye.